Okay, we're back with another Pioneer tribal deck here. This time we're playing humans. So the biggest advantage that humans has is that it has a ton of one drops. These are all 2/1s, every single one of these. We got two Kithians because it's legendary and it's not really that much better than the others. I think it is a little bit better than the others. All the others have some usefulness. Venerable Knight can put a 1/1 counter on something when it dies. If there's a Knights, there's not that much, but there is a minor Knights sub theme here with Dauntless Bodyguard, Benelish Marshal also being Knights. We probably have more soldiers than Knights. We have a couple of warriors and Mardu Woe Reaper and Dragon Hunter, which also triggers the Mardu Woe Reaper. We've got a several soldiers, Kithian, Consul's Lieutenant, Thalia's Lieutenant. We have the Obelisk of Urds. We have a soldier, another soldier, and Gideon. Anyway, the other types beside human don't matter. But the one drops is a big thing. Brave the Elements is a way to break through or just some protection against removal. Um, isn't because it's humans, but because it's white, and white is the best white tribe for sure. We've got Consul's Lieutenant. So we have the other thing it has is anthems, right? We've got four Consul's Lieutenant, four Thalia's Lieutenant, four Benelish Marshal, and then the two Obelisks of Erd. Um, so we just get very large creatures. Um, Maybe another Obelisk is right to have in the main deck. Really haven't played this one much at all. Let's trim down a Consul's Lieutenant. I don't know. We'll go with it like this. Who knows? You know what? Let's trim a Brave the Elements. I don't know. In the sideboard, we got three Fragmentize, another Gideon, four History of Benalia, three Unbreakable Formation. Most of this stuff is just against sweepers, and then we have three Fragmentize and a Sundering Growth against some of the decks that play enchantments or artifacts. Brave the Elements for board stalls and things like that. Another Obelisk of Erd in case we want more anthems. Very rough deck. But let's let's do it. You do a do. You do 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 you do 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 a do do you do 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 do. We've got a match now. This hand is quite bad. Just doesn't do enough. We got a mulligan. Okay, this hand is fine. We're going to keep it. I think we want to pitch a land. This deck often is fine on two lands. I'm going to go Dragon Hunter into Consul's Lieutenant into we'll see what they do. Yeah, there's more one drops that we're not playing that we could play. There's an ally human one drop that's a 2/1. That might be it in terms of human 2/1s for one in the format. But at some point, you can't just all be a bunch of jackal pups. Oh, how original. A Once Upon a Time deck. Blooming Marsh, huh? Thoughtseize? Hope of Gear. Oh, this is the hardened scales. The hardened scales deck. Okay. Oh, what? It's some kind of artifact-based deck, but I'm quite confused. I was thinking it was going to be hardened scale. What? This is at least 4 colors? Well, it'll be interesting to see what the deck is anyway. Brave the Elements, pretty bad against artifacts. They'll all be coming out. Probably. I mean, I guess we'll see what the rest of the deck is. Oh, this is probably the Kethis combo deck? That's the right colors for that. But and it does play Hope of Girapur. Typically isn't playing Heart of Kirin though. These are both legendary, so it's probably something to do with that anyway, though. Oko. None of these things really want to be Oko'd. The problem is, I need an Anthem because I need to get these Consul's Lieutenants through the Heart of Kirin. So we're looking for an Obelisk or another Thalia's Lieutenant. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. It's got to be that self-milling deck, yes. This Heart of Kirin is surprisingly annoying. That's fine. What is it? You think you're killing me here? Do I want to go ahead and play this Thalia's Lieutenant here? Could attack with everything. A Consul's Lieutenant will get eaten. The other one could get chumped. You think you're going off next turn? What am I holding Thalia's Lieutenant for in this deck? Not much really. I think I should probably just play it. That way, if I draw an Obelisk or Gideon or a Benelish Marshal next turn, maybe even another Lieutenant, Okay, we're gonna not attack though. You've got two blue creatures and two green creatures. You can tap Emery for either Hope or Mox Amber. Once upon a time, taking Lazav. Gonna make a Mox Amber. You're gonna mill yourself. You know, for a bit I had Rest in Peace in the sideboard here, and I'm kind of regretting not having it now, but oh well. Emery. Which kills the first Emery. Mills yourself. Oh, no, it killed the second Emery. Well, it's not a big difference, I don't think. I doubt you can untap this, so it seems probably worse than... You're making your Mox Amber into a food. Okay. How close am I to Brave the Elements and Lethal? Brave the Elements saying green. Attack with everything you can block with this and this. I get in for 7. I'm not really that close. So I'm really looking for an Anthem. Should probably protect the Thalia's Lieutenant. Any, like, if I draw a... So here's Lazav. Costs X. Has this ability. Okay. So you're still not to what is worrying me, which is Kethis. You're elking Lazav? Recast Terrarian. Still mostly looking for an Anthem, but this Thalia's Lieutenant is growing a bit. Next turn, 12, 15, 17, 18, 19. You have a thing in hand now, Kethis. Okay, so you can cast Hope of Girapur. You exile 2 legends. You cast Hope of Girapur, you cast Mox Amber. You need a way to make more mana, though. You shouldn't have turned this Mox Amber into an elk. If it weren't an elk, then I think you'd have infinite mana. Not quite infinite, but basically infinite mana and enough mills that you could then kill me with Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. As it is, I think you're a mana short. I mean, you might still get there. There's a chance that you mill another Mox Amber. But it's only likely now and not basically assured. I don't know if my opponent's unhappy that I haven't scooped, but because if I get a turn and I draw like my. So I can Brave the Elements and name green. These things can't attack, can't block. You have three blockers. If I have a Anthem dude, the 3/3 Anthem dude that I'm getting in for, uh, let's see, one, this gets blocked, this gets blocked, this gets blocked, right? You have three blockers. And for 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 3, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's exactly lethal. So, yeah. You're attacking with Emery? I mean, I would take it, right? I would expect you to try to go off here. You're doing Emery on the Mox Amber? I would have thought you would have used the Kethis to get the Mox Amber, right? Tamio and Teferi, say. Or an Emery and Psy, some combination of those. Okay, still not another Mox Amber. These are still legendary, so the oh, of course, this is still legendary, so it still works. Well, I just want to see the rest of your deck at this point. So you have one Heart of Kirin, one Oko. One Jace. Okay, now I need to watch out for you starting to mill me. Um, I'm not really worried that you're gonna mill me out or not. Like, you just win with Jace, obviously, but still targeting yourself. Okay, so there's two cards in hand that I don't know. But other than that, let's take a picture of this deck list. Probably going to sideboard some stuff, of course, but okay. Still targeting yourself, sure. Okay, so given this deck list, we can think about almost every card. Well, not really. Gideon. Some combination of these. How important is the artifact removal? It kills Heart of Kirin, Mox Amber. I mean, most of that stuff isn't really that I'm looking to kill it. I think I want to trim the Brave the elements. So then it's just a question of what we bring in, and I think we just want to be as lethal as possible, as fast as possible. So we think we're going to go for this. Now let me check and see what they might be sideboarding. Removal spells. Ashiok. Urza's Ruinous Blast. Okay, I'm not worried about this. Let's just try to kill them as fast as possible. This is not a good opening hand. This is not a great opening hand, but I have to keep it. The worst of these is Dragon Hunter. I think the game might well go long enough that Obelisk of Erd is worth it. I guess I could have boarded in extra. No, that's not going to help me boarding in extra cards. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep. Let's pitch the Dragon Hunter. Start with Soldier of the Pantheon. It's very hard to imagine it making any significant kind of difference, but pro multicolored. When they cast a multicolored spell, I gain a life. Both of those things might be appealing. Um, okay. The Marty Woe Reaper thing might actually be useful. What do you know? If I can draw a second land, I think I have good chances to win the game. If I can't draw a second land soon, then I have very bad chances of winning this game. It's pretty simple, I think. Relentless Bodyguard. Now if we get a land, we'll cast Thalia's Lieutenant. I mean, in a couple turns, we'll probably be able to play Obelisk of Erd one way or another, but okay. This can't cast Kethis. Could cast Oko, could cast Teferi, sure. Gonna bounce Kithion. I think playing the 1-drops here is better. Then we can get in for more later. I mean, I'd like to eat something better than Gilded Goose, but sure. 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 You do have Urza's Ruinous Blast, okay. Let's do this next. I should start attacking. All at you? I think all at you. I'm not going to worry too much about Teferi. You think you can win this turn, or you think that you have a Ruinous Blast? Which I guess would have been a reason to play Kithian. Yeah, you definitely are going to have a Ruinous Blast here. which means what? Which means I can play Kythian first. I guess on the off chance what you have is settle the wreckage, I should just do it this way. Yeah. Okay. Kethis? Okay. I'm not dead yet. Okay, that's fine also. This is less good. It's not that bad though. Sure, attack me. That's really not gonna matter. Obviously I'm just gonna replay this stuff. And then next turn I can Obelisk Avert, and then next turn I'd have lethal. It's not seeming great. If I find a land, then I can present lethal next turn with one creature, and then double lethal the turn after still. That's assuming you have no interaction. I need to play both things, though. I can't just leave Kythian up and the Indestructible up. It's not what it's about. Sorry if this is painfully slow for all of you who are watching. It's a bit slow for me. There's no way that my opponent has time to win a game 3. Probably do have time to win a game 2. It's possible I should be playing some removal in my deck for situations like these, but, well, in my sideboard more than my deck. Okay, you're going for it in some sense. You could be Ruinous Blasting. No, you're Emerying. Okay. Well, and you get a recast to Fairy this way. Still haven't hit a second Mox Amber, which is incredibly lucky for me. This is actually, with the Emerys, it's almost guaranteed though. Unless you cut a bunch of Mox Ambers. Here's another one. Jace. Continue to play Emrys, which I think is not optimal. I mean, I understand they're 1 mana and they mill a lot, but maybe it is optimal. I don't know. Okay, now you've milled everything, and it's just a matter of you can play Mox Amber, Mox Amber, Mox Amber. Oh, you definitely have this, right? Tap this for blue, make another Mox Amber, and then you have blue from this Mox Amber, and then this, and you cast Jace, and I lose. Okay. Let's go for match 2. Yeah, I think that should probably be a good matchup if that's really how that deck plays. I think it should be fast enough usually, but I don't know. That Heart of Kieran is very good there, and I couldn't find an Anthem in game 1, and then game 2 I got stuck on lands for too long. So, I don't know. Could be I'm wrong too. It's always very plausible. Yeah, this is a easy keep. 1, 2, 3, and an obelisk. Basically every draw is fine here. Don't want to draw too many more lands, but Spire Bluff Canal. Opt. What 1 mana blue spell would you play on your... Oh, Bomat Courier, so it's in Soul. I was thinking the other deck. What's it called? Um, the thing with the thing and the other thing. Are you ensouling? You are ensouling. Okay. No reason to chump now. I don't think. It's just better to chump later. Ginger Brute. You have another Ensoul? Okay. Well, I think I'm dead now. Yeah. So obviously here we're going to bring in this, and this, and this, and this. We're going to cut the Brave the Elements is. What else are we cutting? Consuls, Lieutenants, Obelisk. Let's cut one of each. On the draw, I might shave a land. Bring the Lieutenant back in. Yeah, this is also an easy keep, despite having none of my sideboard cards. Actually, I probably should have brought the other Gideon in, huh? Do I have another Gideon in my sideboard? I think I have another Gideon in my sideboard. The indestructible bit will help a lot in this matchup, I think. You can hit me, I'm not going to block. I'm also not going to attack, though. if you don't attack. If you do attack, I'm going to attack. If you don't attack, I'm not going to attack. I don't want to trade, basically. Um, okay, we're just going to play this and pass. Oh, Teamer. Copter. Sure. Gonna play Marshall in this case. Swing with both. You're gonna chump, sure. You don't want this thing to get renowned. I understand. And do you have a creature and a removal spell for Banalish Marshall? Okay. And that also is pretty good against Gideon. So we're just going to go wide. And now Ghost Fireblade, sure. I mean, you're not going to attack, so that doesn't matter a ton. Okay. Thinking about Gideon and plussing on Banalish Marshall, attacking with everything. You eat here, I get in for 2, 3, 6, 9, 12. And if you attack a Gideon to kill it, then you're not going to have much left. So let's make this indestructible. Okay. Yes, let's bring this other Gideon in, because the indestructible is pretty good. And another Consul's Lieutenant. Now let's cut a Dragon Hunter as the worst one drop. Yeah, this is not the best, but it's got a Sundering Growth, 3 lands, 3 business spells. We're gonna keep it. Gingerbrute, Bomat Courier. Okay. Definitely want to lead on Soldier of the Pantheon rather than Mardu Woe Reaper, because I may get some value off the Woe Reaper later. I think I am going to block here, if given the option. Because I would like to deal, I wanted to use my Gideon here, basically. Um, and so I want my Gideon to be able to survive. I want to be able to use my Sundering Growth to take out uh, either. This is until end of turn, right? Until end of turn. Yeah. So either a insult artifact or preferably a creature that's insult artifacted upon, or a flyer is what I want to use my Sundering Growth on. I'd rather not use it on. Yeah, so here, this is fine. I'm gonna Sundering Growth this. Now, if you have another insult, that could be pretty bad for me, but I might be able to use Dauntless Bodyguard. Okay, what is this? This is Oko. Okay. See, if I just play Gideon, you'll elk this and hit me. So I don't really want to do that, which means I'm playing 3 1-drops. And I don't want to play the Bodyguard, because I want to use that on Gideon if I draw a land next turn. So, let's hit Oko, I guess. Never killing Oko. Let's just kill you. The loyalty on Oko doesn't matter much. What I'm really looking for is an Anthem. Attack me, I dare you. Like that, Anthem. I think at this point, I'm not going to worry about the Bodyguard too much. Protecting Gideon. We're just trying to kill them quickly. So let's defend the Woe Reaper. Of course, you're just going to elk this next turn. Which is really the problem with Oko, I guess. Wow, really? This suggests to me you probably have an Insol in hand. Or just a way to Ghost Fireblade? Sure. That's not scary. What's left in this deck here? No way of dealing with Oko, really. Um, so I mostly want a Thalia's Lieutenant or a Banalish Marshal. Thalia's Lieutenant would be the best. Because putting counters on everything, even if they get Elkified, if you have a thing, it's all good. Unless you have an Ensoul, in which case you're elking your own Ghost Flyer. Do you not realize you could elk my Obelisk? That would be really, really good? Now, I want to make this one vigilant, I think. Sure? Surprised that this is what you want to block with. That's fine. Excess Oko, sure thing. I could have held the land, but that would be bad because I could draw a castle, and I want to be able to make a 1/1 next turn. And it's not like you're going to play around something in my hand. You can't really. If you elk this, I don't see how you're getting out of this. I mean, if you have a sweeper, then you've got a sweeper. But if you have a sweeper, you still got to deal with Gideon too. It also seems unlikely that you'd have a sweeper. Okay. That can chump and then sack for 3 life. You still need something else though. Okay, now you could make a food, chump, sack for 3, sack for 3. You wouldn't be dead. You're going to shrapnel blast my Gideon. But you're going to do it with off the sacking the Gingerbread as opposed to a food you can make. You're probably still going to elk this. If you elk this, shrapnel blast here, then I attack with everything. They're all 2/1s. Oh, I have this 3/3 also. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. I don't see it. I don't see it. Sure. Oh, you sacked the... Yeah. This makes sense. Okay. Sacked the Citadel. Sure. So I attack with everything. You chump the obelisk. with ginger brute, you eat something. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do this. So you're gonna eat, I don't know which of these things. You're gonna chump and you're gonna sack it for 3 life. You're gonna go to 2, and I'm gonna have 3 lethal threats, and you're only gonna have 1 blocker. Which, okay, you can make a food to gain 3 more life, which I would still have lethal. I wouldn't quite have lethal on. We trade our elks, and you'd take 4. Okay. Yup. I'm not sure what you could have here that you wouldn't have cast, or that you'd be blocking this way, or that it would be a decision, really. Right? If you have, I guess if you have a shock, you're going to shock a soldier. But you should definitely do that if you have a shock. There's no question. And otherwise, like anything else, you would have killed something else instead. Well, I'm definitely going to play another dude. My guess is it was a land. Something uncastable, maybe an Ensoul artifact. Actually, Ensoul artifact you probably should have cast to make it a 5/5 so you could block. Then you'd still have a blocker here. You could make a food and sack it. And because I drew a creature, you'd need to draw something else, but if it were a shrapnel blast, yeah, if it were a shrapnel blast, you could have thought about blocking a 2/1 and then shrapnel blasting the 3/3. Okay, looks like I got through. And that was that match. So we're going to match 3 with this mono white humans deck. Do 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 do. Double Kithian is not what we're looking for. 4 lands is not what we're looking for. I think this is a mulligan. This is even worse. But what can I really do on 5? I'm going to keep this. And I have a castle at least? This has got to be an opt. Thalia's Lieutenant, Castle Ardenvel. It's a combination. So Hallowed Fountain opt suggests to me it's probably control. You have a counterspell? Syncopate. Well, that's pretty bad. Fortunately, Castle Ardenvale is probably very good against your control deck. Okay, well, not against Field of Ruin. The good news is I have a lot of sideboard against this. Um, Maybe my unbreakable formations just aren't that good because so much of what this deck is doing. Um, Another Brave the Elements. Brave the Elements probably not that good. Most of your removal's probably mass removal. Can at least get a 1/1 out of this castle. Okay, cycling an Azorius Charm, sure. You have your own Castle Ardenvale. That's real bad for me. Sure. Gonna hold this land because the Field of Ruin. I think I'm gonna spew a Brave the Elements here. If you make a dude. To kill the blocker or to push through 2 extra damage? To kill the blocker is better. Okay. Detention Sphere has got to be going after Gideon. And another one against Kithian. Good. Since I have the backup Kithian, that is good for me. don't understand why you didn't make a dude. Gonna make a dude now? So you could have a wrath. In which case, not leaving up indestructible on Kithian is not so good. Dig through time. Okay. You probably will get a wrath now. It all slips away. I mean, there's a good chance I can make 2 threats next turn. And I do have this Brave the Elements still. Opt. Okay, that's slightly not what I was thinking was gonna happen. 3 mana. It's probably 4 mana for a Wrath. Yeah. Now, if you have another Wrath, I'm pretty dead. I will take my life here, my 1 life, just in case that's somehow relevant. But I do have this Brave the Elements. If you don't have a Wrath, I think I'm okay. It's just so likely you have another Wrath at this point, probably. Teferi. Yeah, this is very bad for me. Both sides of Teferi are pretty bad here. You're gonna have... Okay, so I cast Dauntless Bodyguard, which means in response you have to blow your Wrath, I think. Because this is only spells, right? So you must have Settle the Wreckage. Or like 2 Azorius Charms or something. Maybe I attacked with the wrong creature just now. Should have attacked with the Woe Reaper because we were so sure you had Settle. Yeah. At least it has to be another Wrath. Okay, you don't have mana up for Castle. Playing another Teferi. Okay, you're gonna bounce this as well? You're just trying to draw some lands? Or draw some stuff? Okay, well now I gotta have Bodyguard on the Woe Reaper. You're gonna counter this, you're gonna absorb it. Absorb is not a fun. one for me to have, for you to have against me. Now I don't know how I'm going to beat this Castle Ardenvale, though, amongst anything else. My Gideon's gone. You're digging through time again. All right. Well, there's a small chance I could get an anthem, right? I guess the anthem is the way I get through it, and you have absolute nothing from here until the end of time. You already tapped your mana. What is this? Elspeth. We will concede. No, we won't concede to. We're not going to concede to Elspeth because I have Brave the Elements. So if I draw an Anthem here, I can Anthem and Brave the Elements and win. And actually, I might be able to Brave the Elements next turn and win just with this. It seems unlikely that that will be allowed to work. You'll probably have a counterspell or a Wrath. Gonna make 3 more dudes. If you had a counterspell, you would have countered that. You could have syncopated it. So I'm not worried about a counterspell. The only thing that can beat me that you could also have is a Wrath or another Wrath or Settle, which it is very likely you do have. I guess I can draw a third Brave the Elements if you have Wrath. You could have Sphinx's Revelation? Okay. Yeah, so I have one out. I have one Brave the Elements left in the 39 cards in my deck. And if I draw it, and you don't have a counter spell or a Wrath, which seems roughly impossible given that, well, we've seen you. You're bouncing that. Really? Well, you don't have Supreme Verdict, or you would have played it before you made the soldiers. Alright, let's end this. Okay, against control. We don't want the obelisks, they don't do enough. We want History, Benalia, we want Gideon, we don't want the Braves, they don't do enough. And I think this is, I mean, this means that these are taking up space in my sideboard that they ought not to. But I think that's true. But they're not good against Settle, they're not good against uh, Teferi. I mean, I could bring in some of the Fragmentizer Sundering Growths because of Detention Sphere, but I don't think that's really how I want to fight Detention Sphere. I feel like this league has taken forever. Played against some very slow decks across the table from us. This is 5 lands is too many. This is a mulligan. Oh my gosh, is this hand bad? We're keeping it. Can't go to 5. If we draw a second land, we're very much in the game. 19 out of 53. It's like a 37% chance or something. Plus some additional chance that we drew another 1-drop. Plus some chance that I win if I draw a land next turn. Well, it starts to get harder pretty fast. Teferi? No, nothing. And I'm still stuck on lands. Thankfully no Azorius Charm, putting one of these on top of my deck, which would really kill me. Castle Ardenvale also really kills me. Wrath? Okay. Alright, this is over. $20 land deck. The chance that you have 2 or more lands in 7 cards is 75%. The chance that you have 5 or more lands in 7 cards is only 3.5%. So a very solid majority of the time you're going to have 3 or 4 lands on one of your first couple goes. Okay. This hand looks very good. Triple 1-drop and Athalia's Lieutenant. Thoughtseize. Gonna take Lieutenant or Kithian. Or Brave the Elements. I'm not too unhappy about Thoughtseize though, because you're mulligan to 6 and you're on the play, so if we 1-for-1 each other a bunch, I end up with more cards at the end. Took Lieutenant. Okay. Think we want to play, especially since we've drawn Bodyguards, we can go Kithian Bodyguard. I'm going to lead on Woe Reaper here. Because it's kind of unlikely that they're going to have another Thoughtseize, and honestly, even if they do, if their hand is just like a bunch of Thoughtseizes, that's not the worst thing ever. Night Market Lookout. Yep. So let's just play Kithian and Bodyguard and pass. Scrounger is fine by me. I think I'm going to get this Kithian flipped. Yeah. I'm going to use its indestructible ability. And if that didn't work, then I would pop this. We're going to hold off on the Brave the Elements. Make you indestructible. I'm going to play the Dragon Hunter. And we're going to pass. Rankle. Okay. Probably attacking Gideon. This seems like just a mistake because this has indestructible. You're going to attack me anyway. I can't let Gideon survive, so we're just going to get as much damage in as possible, which is actually the easiest way or the best way to try to prevent you from killing Gideon, because you'd need this thing back to block, but if it's back to block, it also doesn't work. You're just dead, probably. Unless you can attack Gideon and then have a languish. Now, this isn't a white creature right now, so Brave the Elements won't save it by preventing the damage. Killing Gideon, so you could have a sweeper here. I guess you could also have like two things. Although Brave the Elements is probably going to save me in that case. Enters the battlefield tapped. Just attack with everything, right? You can block one thing with Mutavault, but you can't get rid of the other two. There's no black fog in this format. Sure. Fired up Mutavault. This can block here. You only have one card in hand. Okay. Now against mono black, we want all the Brave the Elements we can get. Obelisks probably go out. And we'll put the Gideon in. Actually, Gideon might not be good, because you probably have a lot of flyers between Rankle and Smuggler's Copter. So maybe Obelisks would just be better, but oh well. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, plus another thing. Okay, that's something we're going to want to block. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, probably. Gonna block it while we can. Sure. Untap and play Benelish Marshal if you play this Murderous Rider. Kalitas. use the Brave the Elements here um, to try to kill Kalitas if it attacks. Which is kind of risky if there's a removal spell. Though if you preemptively fire off the removal spell, it's not that risky if there's a removal spell, honestly. You casting something? I'd love it if you're casting something. Oh, you have another one of these. Well, no, this was just a punt because this isn't a creature right now. Oh, estúpido. Yeah, I can't break through this Kalitas now. Not so high on my Gideons. Actually not that high on the Obelisks either, though. Let's do the... I think they're better. Could, I guess, bring in History Benalia. That was a really bad punt. Yeah, this is definitely keep worthy. Lead on Soldier of the Pantheon, as it's my least valuable thing if they kill it immediately. Copter, sure. Which can block everything on my board, which is the problem. Looking for an anthem, any anthem. Thalia's Lieutenant, of course, being the best. Pretty sure if you attack, I'm just blocking with Venerable Knight. If you want to pump, that's fine with me. I need to save 2 creatures here. Right, you're gonna eat a thing. I'm gonna get in for 8. I think I have to go for this anyway. This way, if I draw an Anthem next turn, it's probably lethal. I'm surprised that that's actually the one that you would block. I would have thought you would have blocked this guy, because it's very unlikely to matter. Is it likely lethal? It might be lethal, I guess, is the better. Some kind of anthem. Any kind of anthem. 11 copies in my deck, so I'm a 22% chance to draw it next turn. Just playing Murderous Rider? Beautiful. Well, I'm definitely not attacking now if I don't get an Anthem. The best Anthem there is. And this one is indestructible. Or indestructifiable, whatever. Human. Smash. Yeah, you're gonna trade for the Soldier of the Pantheon. Night Market Lookout, okay. This is +3/+3, right? So if you pump it once, you're still only trading with my dudes. You have to block all but one of these. That's fine. I'd rather have it die than the knight that's defending it anyway. Are you going to fire up a Mutavault and block with Mutavault and a thing? You'd want to kill this one. You're just chumping and going to 1. I don't understand what this is about. I think I have Wrath Protection anyway, so I'm going to play this because of this Dauntless Bodyguard. I guess it doesn't protect me against Languish. I don't think your deck would play Languish, though. Now you can definitely survive this turn because you have 4 blockers if you fire up both Mutavaults, but yeah, you lose 4 creatures. Okay. So this was a nice match and a fast match. On to the last match. Wherein we sang Bobby McGee. Okay. You do 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 do. You do 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 do. You do 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 do. Let us join the match. Let us find where it stuck my window on my other monitor. It isn't where this window was before. Let us be sad that we have a 1-land hand. Let us be sad that this is such a bad hand, but we're going to keep anyway. This is why I don't like having too many Brave the Elements in the main deck. It's a bit of air, and this deck needs to be very high concentration of creatures and anthems. Mausoleum Wanderer, so this is Spirits. Yes, I will cast this already. Brave the Elements, probably not so good against this deck. This deck is almost certainly 3-color Bant. And I guess it could be just blue-green like flyers, but no, okay. Definitely want to make this indestructible. Now, if there's another Anthem, my Gideon's gonna die, but what can you do? I also have a Brave the Elements. Okay, you're down to 12. Anthem Lord. So this is a Lord. This can kill my Gideon, but it does require both of these things to attack. All of your creatures are blue right now. If I find another Anthem, I did not find another Anthem. Let's just play the Mardu Woe Reaper. Okay, an Anthem is probably lethal next turn. If I can resolve it, if it's not an Obelisk Avert and I can resolve it and have Brave the Elements. Okay, Mausoleum Wanderer is not collected company, but it does leave up... Oh, you know what? I can't resolve Brave the Elements, maybe, because these Mausoleum Wanderers, very large, very in charge. Yeah, I should probably have some Declaration in Stones in my sideboard as opposed to some of the things I do have. Wow, really? You're letting me attack with these things? Guess you're saying you have lethal next turn. Maybe. Expect a Spell Queller is in store for us here. Yeah, I'm just dead here. Okay. So let's go to the board. Gideon's not very good. Obelisk is better. How are Braves? The elements is all of their creatures are blue. Let me see if I can find a list here. They have mana dorks that aren't blue. and maybe Oko to elk things into things that aren't blue. I still think it's better than Gideon, but I don't want more over something else here. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to resolve this. I'm questioning what you kept. Rattle chains. Okay. But I'm presenting lethal on board now. You really need something good. If you pass the turn to me and I have Brave the Elements up, I don't think I can lose. Well, I can lose, right? But it's going to be very hard for me to lose. Reflector Mage, bouncing Benelish Marshal, sure. Now we're going to play Obelisk of Erd. Now my creatures are all too large. And you can't do anything. You probably have a Spell Queller. I'm not too worried about it. See, I can activate Castle now, which is probably the thing I want to do here. Oh, this gives them flash. Okay. This is still okay. I get a... Yeah, but this makes humans. Is the thing. Yeah, I don't think there's anything coming back from this from you now. And you still probably have a Spell Queller or something. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to run it back. The last game for all of the marbles. Or some of the marbles. Marbles? Some play points and a treasure chest. You a do a do gadoo gadoo a do gadoo gadoo a do do do. I should maybe be playing a third Castle Ardenvale. It's just so expensive to activate that it doesn't come up a ton. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a number of changes I should make to this deck, right? I should be cutting at least a couple of the unbreakable formations in my sideboard, possibly all three, for maybe another disenchant and then some removal spells for creatures like, well, yeah, anyway. We're going to pitch the Brave the Elements here, I think. Going to rely on our anthems to get things going. Leading on Woe Reaper is just better, I think, than Dragon Hunter. We're going to play Lieutenant next turn because the size of the creatures matter. This is probably a Rattlechains coming in here. I want to protect Consul's Lieutenant and attack, and I want to play my Thales Lieutenant last, I think. That is after my other 1-drops are in place. Yeah, this is not ideal, but it's okay. I probably should have played the Lieutenant there pre-combat and just said, I'm not going to worry about. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Now if there's another Lord, I'm in very bad shape, and I just could have played around it. There's no reason not to, really. What about if you have another Lord now? How bad is that? You gotta eat 2 of these things to get through. And otherwise, it's all better next turn. If you need to have like 2 more Lords for it to be bad to not attack here. Okay. Oh, you could have that. Okay. That was not a card I was expecting to see in the deck. But this is fine. Now I'm going to attack. Yeah, no choice really now. But it's also hard to see this going terribly bad for me. Some kind of 3 mana wrath or something, but I don't think that exists. Okay. Well, they got mana screwed, and I lucked out and won. Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody. Ended up 3-2.